I'm going to demonstrate how I worked with Burrito, the pointer, to learn how to walk on a leash using a long line. When I saw Burrito first, he was pulling the volunteer all over the place on a short leash. And knowing pointers and how much they like to move and run, I used a long line instead. Plus a little no-centric training. Here is a little bit of the end result of session 1. Notice he's walking pretty much next to me with a loose leash. When watching this video and how I accomplished this, it may not seem like I'm doing a whole lot, but a lot of times dog training isn't very obvious, and especially with a dog like Burrito, he's a super sweet dog. He just wants to get out and move. My goals with Burrito were simple: have him not pull the volunteers around on a leash, pay a little bit of attention to the handler, and learn to stop moving when he feels a little bit of tension on the leash.
And he has more freedom. So I think this might be easier for the volunteers as well. Come on, buddy. Good boy.
This shelter is in rural New Mexico and happens to have a rodeo grounds right next to it that they are allowed to use. My methods to achieve these goals are simple. Stop gently when Burrito gets to the end of the long line. Wait for him to stop pulling or turn around and acknowledge me before I start moving again.
Of course, when he starts to pull like that, I'm going to stop.
And engage in no-centric sniffing and being interested in what he is interested in. I strung a bunch of slip leads together to make a long line about 15 feet in length. This allowed Burrito to move around without feeling tension on the leash.
Good job. Oh, are you going to get it? Oh, good. No, don't like
Previously,
those,
on a
huh?
short leash,
Okay.
he wasn't able to move enough and do what he wanted, so he was constantly pulling and therefore getting used to feeling tension on the leash when he was moving. For dogs to learn to walk on a loose leash, there must be a contrast between the leash being tight when they're pulling and hitting the end of the leash and the leash being loose. Using a long line for dogs like Burrito allow them to walk without feeling any tension on the leash so they can learn how nice that feels. And then, when they get to the end of the leash and start pulling, there is clear contrast between those two feelings. Of no-centric training, I asked Burrito to sniff and explore the barrel in the middle of the rodeo grounds. He loves to sniff, and so inviting him to do so with me will help him pay more attention to me.
So we're going
The other
around
thing
this
I
whole
did
perimeter,
was to stop
walking
moving
fast
when Burrito got to the end of the
because
leash.
his
When he
pace is
started to
fast.
get to the end of the
So
leash, I
walk as
let my
fast as you
arm move a
can
little bit forward, kind of
with
like a
him.
bungee, to give him a soft stop. I did not want to have a harsh yank on his neck.
And again, like every time he really starts to pull, just stop and wait for him to do that.
Here Burrito goes to the end of the leash. You can see he stops, turns around, and comes back to me. He's whining a little bit because he wants to move forward.
That way he actually has to pay a little bit of attention to the leash and the handler. Good boy. Yeah. So every time he can check in with me, he gets
He
praise.
quickly learned that he didn't get to move forward, which was what he wanted and his reward, when the leash was tight. And he actually started to look back at me and come back to me to say hello when the leash got tight. This allowed him to start checking in with me a little bit and also see me as a little bit valuable since I was controlling the one resource he wanted, which was freedom to move
So we'll
around.
see if he's interested in the ball. Hey, buddy. Sort of. Sort of. Do you want to chase it? So yeah, not particularly interested in the ball. He's like, whatever. I want to go walk. Come here, bud. See, when he hits the end of this leash, with it being a slip lead instead of a harness, he's having to pay attention to me, right? So again, when he's pulling, he's not going to get to go where he wants. Good boy. Now that he stopped pulling, we can go in here together. Good job. So he's looking at me more, right? So my purpose here isn't to teach him to heel right now. It's just to learn about him and let him have some fun, do what he wants to do with a little bit of boundaries on it so that he has to pay attention to me. Because if he's just pull, 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 there's no contrast between pulling and loose leash. So when there's contrast, so right now he has a loose leash, it gets tight, there's a difference. Good boy. Come on. Who's a good boy? Yeah, come on. I'm becoming a little more relevant to him. Hey, we're going to stop there with that pulling. No. Good boy. Good boy. Where are you going? What's in here? What's in here? What is that? Huh? Encouraging him. He wants to explore. What's in there? Yeah, encouraging that.
In addition to this, I showed him some of the barrels in the middle of the rodeo grounds and engaged in some sniffing with him and exploration. Instead of telling him no and not letting him put his paws up on things, I encouraged him to do so as long as he didn't try to go under or climb over the fence.
He's a good boy. Yeah, nice boy. Nice dog. What are you doing? You can't go in there. Oh no, we're not going to go in there. Nope. Oh boy. He knows how to climb fences. Come on, buddy. Come on. So it's okay. He can investigate, but he cannot climb out.
Stopping the escape behavior is important. It's probably why
No.
he's in the shelter in the first place, because he escaped his previous enclosure.
Come on, buddy.
I'm going to invite Burrito over to investigate this wood panel on the fence.
It's over here. Way. Good job, buddy. Good. Intact male needs to be neutered, and then that won't be a problem.
Your Burrito goes to the end of the long line, but this time
Good
he stops
boy.
and turns
Yeah.
around.
Good boy. Hey,
He's
hey, hey.
learning.
Leash. Good boy. Good job.
We're going to do some nose-centric techniques and check out another barrel. You'll be able to see here how I let my arm gently go out to have a gentle stop to Burrito's direction, and then I guide him the way I want him to go.
Oh, yeah. No, don't pee on it. No, don't pee on it. Come here. Come here. Come here. Good boy. Yes. Good job. Good job.
I take Burrito out of the enclosure, and now we're just going to walk back and forth along the fence line. Staying along a fence line in the beginning stages is useful because it helps contain the dog and gives them some natural boundaries to
Boy.
their movements.
Come here.
I'm going to ask Burrito to follow me a little more and do many more turns than I was doing previously. This is the same lesson as when we were inside the larger arena. I still have a long line on him, and he still has quite a bit of slack in it. But I'm doing a few turns, and when I turn, I'm just saying, hey buddy, or let's go, or something to get his attention.
This way. Yeah, good boy. Good job.
Notice one thing I am not doing is making a fuss over the dog. I'm not micromanaging him. I'm simply walking and asking him to come with me.
Come on. Yes, good boy.
Every time he turns and comes with me, I make sure to give him some praise and a pat. Burrito's doing pretty well. He's walking on a loose leash, he's paying more attention to me, and he's learning to stop when he feels tension on the leash. That's a pretty good first session.
No, mister. No.
The next session, I would give him some long line time, and then after he's had some time to get some of his sillies out, I would use a shorter leash. Here's my explanation to one of the shelter volunteers.
Right? So
Yeah.
he's learning. It's much more enjoyable for the volunteers too. For them to get pulled over.
Yeah.
A lot of them are over my age. You know.
We are recording.
One of the female dogs peed there. Come on, bud.
When I start moving, he follows me nicely away from the interesting little smell he had.
So then I would start, once we do that for a little bit, then I start turning. Right? So once he's paying attention to me, once the leash gets tight, come on, buddy. And I don't know if he knows his name. Burrito. Jimmy Changa. Empanada. Hey, buddy. This way. So it's just a gentle stopping.
Yeah.
Like there's none of that harsh.
Yeah.
I'm stopping and the dog like chokes himself.
Yeah.
It's just like a gentle, kind of loose arm.
Mm-hmm.
Good boy. Look at you. Look at you. Again, he's tired, so that's he's like, no, I can't go back to the kennel. I'm gonna die. But and then over time, over a couple days, you just shorten the leash.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? He's a good boy, and he likes people.
Yeah, he really does.
He's a nice dog.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished. Burrito learned to walk on a looser leash without pulling me all over the place and to pay attention to me. And this will help make the shelter volunteers walking him so much easier and hopefully help him get a home. Over the next couple sessions, you can fine tune this and use shorter and shorter leashes at certain times to work on Burrito's healing. However, due to his breed, Burrito would really enjoy having a nice long line walk often instead of in a strict heel.